Hi guys, it's Terry42 for digitaldjtips.com, and today I bring you part 3 of our light guide for beginners. And we are again going to talk a little bit about DMX. We stopped the last time at programming scenes. As you know, programming scenes meant that our light would perform an action that we have adjusted with the sliders and that we can recall it via the scene buttons on our controller. Now, of course, doing manual recalls of scenes all the time is a little hassle, and so we have to go a step further and program chases or shows, like we like to call them. Now that is slightly different on most controllers, and so I'll show you a few steps how I do it on my controller, but it might be a little bit different on yours. So you will have to consult your operating manual to know how everything is done. But it will give you a slight idea of how all this works. So let's hop and take a look at the controller and what I'm doing. Okay, here we have our setup for today. We have one moving head, which is the American DJ InnoBeam 12. And we have our DMX operator 2 from Elation, which you already know from the last part. Okay, now up until programming scenes, every controller is pretty much very much alike. And as you recall from last time, every scene button here recalls a different function. And I've been already preparing a little bit for this, so I've already some scenes programmed in here, which I can recall here. So this is some moving function. Scene 2 alters the color a little bit and the movement. Scene 3 is color adjust to blue. Scene 4 we have white light. Scene 5 mixes the colors a little bit. Another movement. Scene 6, another movement with mixing of colors. Scene 7 and scene 8 is my stop movement. So a little break in there. Okay, how do we go along programming this in a set so we can recall a whole set of things? Well, first of all, we have to go into program mode again. So I'm in program mode. The moving head now is recalling the first scene because that's the first scene usually selected. Now I select the chase here. Let's take chase 3 for example. And I'm going to program this. So what do we want to put into our chase 3? For example, scene 1 with the red light. I want to have that one. And let's take another one. That's quite different. And we take this. So now I have two different scenes in the chase. And we leave it at that for the moment with exit program mode. Okay, now what we've done is we programmed scene 1 and 5 into our chase 3. To activate it, we have to go into auto mode and we activate chase 3, which is now altering the two scenes. And we can alter the speed with the speedometer here. Here is quite fast change of the chases. So you see every scene is only held for a few seconds, or we can move it up, let's say to 10 seconds. You can probably not read the display, but trust me, that will be roughly 10 seconds between the scenes. If you have color fades programmed, there is also a fade timer here, so you can have a fading transition from scene 1 to 2 and adjust the speed here. And of course we can switch to other chases I've pre-programmed a few, so let's switch to chase 1 here. And as you can see, it goes through many different steps. As you can see, most units can manually adjust the speed and fade time between the chases or the shows that you've pre-programmed, and most of the units also have a sound activated mode, like this DMX Operator 2 has sound activated modes built in, so I can switch from speed manually to a sound activated mode also. So there is no voodoo about it. Chases or shows are just scenes that you've pre-programmed and put into a special order, and are then blended over via speed adjustments or sound activation. So nothing complicated here. And while it might work a little bit different on your unit, the basic concept of first programming scenes and then put them together in a chase or show is basically always the same. Of course, you can re-edit, add scenes, delete scenes from a chase and stuff like that, but we won't go into that depth here because that's truly different for most controllers, and you should really consult your manual for that. So that's it for our basic light guide. You saw in part 1 why we use lights, what we can do with lights, and how standalone and sound activated modes work. And in part 2 and 3 we learned a little bit about DMX, how programming scenes, programming chases and shows work, and how we can utilize DMX to daisy chain a lot of lights together and operate them. So I hope you enjoyed this 3-part light guide for beginners. If you want to see some more topics covered and some more in-depth guides for different topics, please leave it in the comments. And as always, this guide is also accompanied by a written section on digitaldjtips.com, so go there and don't miss it. Thanks for watching. I'm Terry42 and I hope to see you again in one of our next videos.